Hello, welcome to week 9. So, week 9 runs March 18th to March 24th. So, this week we're going to be talking about closing the project. I do want to say so right before we had spring break, we finished up our group projects. We're working on the project that was assigned through the book that you walk through for roughly 4 weeks, that you walk through each of those steps for the book. So now it is time to put all of these pieces of project management documentation and methodology to work into your own project. So I'm going to talk about the project in a little more detail here in just a moment. But this week we're going to be reading chapter 9, so closing the project. Also watching the instructor provided video lectures that are towards the bottom of the screen. You're also going to be completing your weekly reflection as well as the weekly forum. There are a few questions, so it's going to be questions 1, 4, and 5. And you're going to be completing your project charter. So I do have a project proposal, and I know that has caused a tad bit of confusion. But I do want to define that there is a difference, but there's not a big difference between the two. So with your project charter, it's going to be it's all about the purpose is difference between the charter and your proposal. So the charter is about doing the documentation for your work. The charter is focused on getting the sponsor or your team to buy into doing the work. So I do have for your project charter, I have a template here that you can use as a guideline. So you want to make sure that your charter includes the title, your purpose, your description, your objectives, the success criteria, or the expected benefits. So what is going to consider, what has to happen for this project to be considered successful? Or what are the benefits that are going to be gained from doing this project? And then the funding. What is your source of funding for this project? So I do have a quick example here. And one thing I do want to mention is I want these projects to be realistic. The reason is if you do not pick realistic projects, then when you start doing your work breakdown structure or you start doing some of the other documents that we're going to be doing along the way, it's very difficult to make it realistic. So you want to make sure that you're finding a project that's realistic. Now, for those of you that are working, if you have a project at work that is something that you think would benefit your company, you are more than welcome, if the rest of your group buys into it, to use that for a project. So again, make them realistic. Just think about different maybe organizations you're involved in or different interests you have, and come up with a project around something about one of those ideas. The other thing is if you have questions or you're stuck on this and you want to run some ideas by me, please feel free to reach out to me via email. You can text me, you can call me, and I can help walk you through some potential ideas for your project for the rest of the semester. So I do have a block here of the assignments that are due for this week. And then as you scroll down, we have the PowerPoint with the PDF and videos for this week. I do have one additional subject ideas or material. And then at the bottom here is more about your team project. So the project setup goes into what we just talked about with your project ideas and how you select projects. Your information and expectations. So it's very important to read through this document especially for the expectations, because this breaks down every document that I'm expecting to see as you prepare your final presentation. So I want you to see this today before you choose your project, so you can make sure, for example, that you are going to be able to have an activity list and a definition of your activities, and have approximately 50 activities. If you don't think that you're going to reach that 50 activities, then it's not a project that you want to do for this class. So again, please read through these expectations. That will help you greatly when you are picking your project. The other thing really quickly is I want to make sure I did have something written in here about the presentations, and I want to clarify that you will be giving a presentation, but this is 100% online class. So what I would suggest is you do the voiceover PowerPoint. There's other tools out there. If you want to use something else, that's fine. But it will be a narrated PowerPoint or narrated presentation that all team members have to be a part of, and that will be something that is posted online, and then your peers will review them and provide feedback to that towards the end of the class. So if you have any more questions on that, please let me know. But just wanted to give you an idea of where we're headed with the team project. And your project plan template, there is a sample you can download for that. So that project plan template is what you will have completely filled out by the end of the semester. And then again, we have our learning outcomes for week 9. So again, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me. I want to make sure that you get the most out of this class. So if there's anything I can do along with that, please let me know as well. Otherwise, have a great week. Thanks.